song for a movie podcast. Some are pretty good, but we'll just suck ass. 1, 2, 3, 4, 4, 3, 2, 1. Watch with us for Cinema Buns. Let's go!
Hello and welcome back to Cinema Buns. I'm in New York.
And I'm in Paris.
Oh,
Renaissance?
I'm Ritter. That's Mike. I'm sure one of
Michelangelo?
them's Kevin. And
Hey, yo, it's me, Raph.
I'm sucking on Raffi's toes.
God.
And we're talking about
And we're the green lovers. Come and rescue us. Michelangelo, Donatello.
sucking on Raffi's toes.
God.
We are talking about Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles Mutant Mayhem, the new TMNT movie.
Seth Rogen's love letter.
Yes.
Because he is an eternal child.
And
I did not have high expectations for this movie, I'm not going to lie.
I had high expectations for this movie because I pay attention.
Oh, I don't.
I had mid expectations because the first trailer I saw for the movie, I was not a fan of the art style. For the turtles, it was fine,
For the
but the
humans?
humans look like animated Garbage Pail Kids.
So Garbage Pail Kids.
Yes, and in the final product, they were still Garbage Pail Kids, but it worked.
Yeah.
And it was funny because
Because they're New Yorkers.
Yeah, they look more like monsters than the monsters do.
Whoa.
But
Mind blown.
Mike, what's the plot?
Why am I always the one given the plot here?
Because I love your explanations of the plot.
What are you talking about? They're usually long-winded and boring. Or they're really wrong.
That's what makes them great.
So what, you cut out the long-winded ones? Is that how that works? I don't listen to our podcast, obviously.
Absolutely not. I leave it 100% in.
Oh, God.
You don't get a choice in the matter.
This is about the Teenage Mutant Turtle story rewritten again. Or retold again. It's their origin story.
So you know how every, 5 years we have to see how Batman become Batman? That's
same thing like this.
It's like Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles.
Yeah. It has its own twists on how it happens. The memes spot on. I think they're great. We'll get to those later. So it's about these turtles just basically trying to find their way to be accepted by the New Yorkers
Okay.
In the world at large.
and the world at large. But
Because
we're
they
just
want
focused.
they want to be real teenagers.
You're right,
Real
Kevin.
normal
New York
teenagers.
is the world. What can I say? So it's just them trying to make a name for themselves and to be accepted in society.
Nice.
There you
And
go.
so the plan is to become heroes by foiling this great criminal that's been plaguing New York for these past couple of weeks.
Exactly.
Good job, Mike. Proud of you.
Thanks, me.
You didn't even need any help.
I know, right?
Good job.
I'm the best around. Ain't no one gonna keep me down.
You know what? Kevin, I don't even think we need to be here. We can
Right.
leave Mike, and he can talk
I'll
about
start
the movie.
opera singing when they leave.
Um,
That's my threat. It's not a benefit.
so, the movie. It
So-
was better than I was expecting it
It's
would
a Seth Rogen joint.
I
Yep.
actually liked it a lot. Had a lot of fun.
Oh, yeah. All the references they made were, current.
John Cena's
But-
in this movie?
Yes. He plays Rocksteady.
Yeah, him and Bebop.
That's funny.
Bebop and Rocksteady are Seth Rogen, John Cena.
All the references they made are current, but not current in the way where it feels like some guy's writing it like, "Hello, fellow teens."
This is millennials writing
No, but it actually felt like this is one of the first movies where the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles actually feel like teenagers.
Like, we're all not... none of us are, single child... What's the word I'm looking for? We all have siblings.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yes. So like the way the brothers act towards each other is very like sibling energy.
Yes.
Like
Yes, it
being
is.
dorky, just repeating the same shit.
Being really
turning
cringe.
being cringe.
Just being real cringe. But in the best way. In like the most
Yeah.
like
Giving each other shit.
yeah.
Yeah. And hyping each other up
Yep.
and then just start repeating like
You guys find one funny word and you guys keep repeating
Repeating
it at
it,
each
yeah.
other in funny voices, like have a cheese, but I need my bacon egg and cheese McMuffin.
Bacon, egg, and cheese.
I need my bacon egg and cheese. And then April's just like, everyone's gonna hate you if I put up
I
a
don't think
video
I
of
can
this.
record this.
And then they're just like, bacon egg and cheese. Fucking accurate.
Yeah.
Yeah, and they actually have actual like, kids voicing these characters.
Yes, and the kids do a phenomenal job.
Great job.
It all
As much as I love Sam Riegel, even though he is a child, it's fine to have also children voice these characters.
yes. But no, the dynamic between the Turtles and Splinter is very well done.
It's
and
Yeah.
they rewrite the origin a little bit,
Mhm.
and like Splinter feels like just a doing his best immigrant dad,
Yes.
and
He's not like a old kung fu master.
nah,
So like the
And it's
original
amazing.
The original story of Splinter is that he is the pet rat of a kung fu
master,
master
yeah.
that's been assassinated by the Foot Clan.
Yes.
And so he's had to run away into the sewer, which also the turtles got
oozed.
deposited by like some little girl who couldn't keep them, and then
Yeah.
like they got turned into.
Which is a
Oozed.
cool origin story on its own.
Yeah.
I think that's really good. But
Wasn't
this
it
one,
Megan Fox owned those turtles as pets, and then
it could have been.
I honestly, I don't give a shit about the Michael Bay ones.
I
I did not like
As
those
not,
movies.
no, I mean the second one was great. It's Bebop, Rocksteady, and like
Yes.
they actually acted like siblings, and they were still tanks.
Yep.
but no.
They were also a little bit tanky in this movie.
Yeah.
too.
Yeah.
So the art direction in this movie is actually super good.
Yeah, it's fantastic.
It's grimy, gross, but it
It's
works.
graffiti like it's
And
Yeah.
but it feels like a comic book. You can see the inspiration that was taken from Into the Spider-Verse, but what I appreciate is while watching the movie, I see it as inspiration. It doesn't feel like they were trying to copy it,
yeah,
Yeah.
exactly.
which I like a lot more.
Yeah, like I
And-
said, it's such a the Spider-Verse movie like kind of changed animation,
Which
Yeah.
I think is good.
for the best.
Yeah.
And honestly, all the characters in the movie are great characters.
Yeah.
They have so much personality and like
They did the brothers real good justice, gave them really distinct personalities, and was able to show them really well.
Mm-hmm.
yeah.
Like Raph wasn't just an angry boy
He was
was
an angry boy.
who had like no idea where to channel
was
these emotions, and
He was kind of like a little bit of a himbo. He was like
yeah,
just like still strong.
Yeah.
But he wasn't like a complete psychopath.
he loved his brothers.
Yeah.
Like
He wasn't an asshole.
yeah,
Mike just liked to play around, improv and stuff like that.
He's the like chillest. Donatello is not as smart
No,
as as previous iterations.
I
think
or
he
he's
has
not
the
as
potential.
nerdy.
He's pretty nerdy still, actually.
No, yeah, he's pretty nerdy.
I
but
feel
he's
like
not,
he does a lot with like some tech stuff that the others don't.
Yeah.
But I think the reason why there's that element of he's not the smartest rendition is because
He's also the youngest.
He's actually a teenager in this one.
Yeah,
Yeah.
because like Donnie's always been competent.
Yes.
Like he could, and like this is like
And
he
he's
he
still-
still relies on Leo
Yeah,
in this movie.
but he also still comes up with plans.
Like he has like high int, but he's low whiz.
Yeah, exactly.
In this movie.
Which I think is really good. Like because he's still the one that comes up with the idea of how to win the battle.
Yeah. And
It's just Leo's leading him to the right like destination.
Yeah.
or helping him like on the way.
And Leo fits into his role. He's the leader of the group. He kind of tries to keep everyone on the straight and narrow, but
You know, he's still also a teenage boy, and he's
Yep.
like,
And
Ferris
his-
Bueller?
Yeah.
And his hormones all activate at the same time when he sees April O'Neil.
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
Fucking love that scene where he's like, "We must help the beautiful woman get her chariot back." And Ninja, go! I just the one line of like, it's like all of his hormones activated at the same time. And then every time he's on the phone with April, all the brothers are like, "Ooh, what you saying? Who you talking to?"
Yeah, you know, if this was not a PG movie, they would be moaning in the
Oh
background.
yeah.
Oh, yeah. They would be. They were just like right under that line too.
Yeah. Donnie
very
is a JoJo fan, as he should be.
He's an anime
Um,
weeb. Yes.
But they all are a little bit.
Kinda, yeah.
Yeah. But no, and then the other mutants that come, and we'll cover that later, but the other mutants that show up in the show too also have just so much personality,
Oh yeah.
and all the character designs are super memorable.
Yes.
Like I could, if you fucking name a character, I can describe them to you right now, and it's been a solid 2 weeks since we saw the movie.
Mhm.
So like the character design is also very well done.
Yeah, like the brothers have distinct designs. They're not just like different mask only.
Yeah. Their outfits are really.
Raph is a himbo still. He's like
Yeah.
the biggest one of the brothers.
I feel like there's a certain inspiration also taken from the new Nickelodeon like animated show they did. Do you guys know about that one?
Yeah, I heard that one was really good.
It's supposed to be it's a more anime take on the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, but each turtle is basically designed around a different species of turtle. So Raph is designed as like a snapping turtle.
Mhm.
And like, so he's obviously a bit boxier and he's got like spines and stuff. He's a bit like stronger. So I feel like there was some inspiration with that when it came to setting up like the specific character designs in this movie
Yeah.
too, which worked really well. I do like.
Oh,
Like-
they also take advantage of them being like mutants.
Yeah.
So it's like they're not just like an insect or an animal that's been anthropomorphized. They're like one of their limbs is like huge, or they're like missing some
Yeah.
stuff, so that has to be replaced with robotics. They look fucking disgusting.
Yeah.
But they look less disgusting than the New Yorkers in the movie.
All the New Yorkers look like they had that one disease that made them all puffy. What is it called? Starts with an M.
Meningitis,
No.
like
no.
gigantism.
No, not gigantism. It's
Oh my
mum-
God,
You know what I'm
mumps?
talking? Mumps.
Mumps,
Yeah, it made
yeah.
me think they all had mumps.
Dude, you're not wrong.
Yeah.
I was telling them like after like the movie was over and we were walking out, it's like this is like an animated like everyone drew over the Crank Yankers puppets.
Oh God, yeah.
It's like kind of that design. Everyone's like asymmetrical. Their nose and their face leans like one side of their head or whatever. But it was like endearing. It's
Yeah.
the most like kind of and like the plot of the movie, them being just like they want to attend high school.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Is like so adorable. And it's also like a story of like Splinter trying to keep them from the world because like he made an attempt going out into the world, but everyone thought he was like
A monster.
a monster because he is just kind of like a
And they
rat-
just
a rat
immediately,
mutant
yeah,
coming out of
immediately wanted to chastise the poor guy.
understandable.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The training arc was fun.
Yeah.
So like you have to somehow turn these teenage turtles into ninjas.
No,
And
these
it-
children turtles
And
at the time.
and if you're doing a plot where like the
How do
center
you do
point
that?
isn't Splinter trying to avenge his like old master,
yeah.
how do you like rationalize that? And it's just like I need to teach them self-defense.
Protect
the-
yourself.
The
So
most 70s, 80s, like, martial art movies.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
So good.
a bunch of just like Bruce Lee movies.
Splinter. I never thought I would see Splinter with Jerry curls, but it was great.
Yeah, no, Jackie Chan as Splinter is like pretty fantastic.
Mhm.
Honestly, a pretty stacked cast, and
Yeah.
everyone does such a good job.
Especially their entire mutant cousins are all like played by different celebrities and stuff.
Yeah, Hannibal Buress. We've got Seth Rogen, Post Malone, fucking Ice Cube as one of the main
Superfly.
yeah,
no,
Superfly.
It's fucking encompasses that role. He's
Yeah, he did.
it's so good. By the way, I want us to just this was something I was talking to my wife about the other day. Is it's so funny to see the development over time of these like 80s and 90s like hardcore gangster rappers, and then what they're about now. So you've got like Ice Cube and NWA and what was the other group he did?
He did himself. He did a
No,
solo
he had a group after he left NWA briefly.
I don't know.
Fuck.
Sure.
It's gonna bug me. But you've got his like a pretty hardcore past. Now he's voicing a character in a Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles animated movie.
I mean,
And
I
he's
like-
doing family comedies and stuff
I don't
like
know.
that.
That
Snoop
was-
Dogg always makes me laugh.
the first film he did, I think, was like family movies.
Yeah.
It was like
Yeah, because
Are We There Yet?
Friday? Yeah, are we there yet? Or no,
Friday's
Friday?
not-
Yeah,
it can
yeah,
be
Friday.
After Friday.
Yeah.
Are we there yet?
Is,
Was
like,
like the first.
Are We
No,
There
it's
Yet?
just funny. It's
Yeah.
just something to think about. But
And
like,
I think the same's true with Tupac.
Yeah.
I think it's not like he was a rated R.
Tupac.
Yes.
Before
Like the movies that Tupac was in.
Yeah.
I don't think they were like too hard or anything. It was just like him acting.
Which movies was he in? I actually forgot.
I didn't see any of them. I'm sorry. I'm a fake fan.
Was he in any movies?
Yes.
Am I stupid? Oh my god, he was
Yes, he was an actor.
an actor.
Yeah.
Why does it say he was in the 2018 movie?
Because he never died. Don't you know?
Because
That would-
Tupac is alive.
Yeah, Tupac's alive, dude.
Ah,
You should know
yes.
this.
No, yeah, all the performances are super well done, and
Snoop is probably in Paw Patrol too.
yeah,
Yeah, that'd be funny.
um,
No, Snoop Dogg just, hanging out with someone he used to deal weed with.
Yeah.
It's just
he did a cooking show with Martha Stewart, and he was not the felon in production.
yeah.
And like Ice-T is doing, detective shows.
Yeah.
He made songs about fuck the police, and he proceeded to play
A police officer?
police officer for 15 years on Law and Order SVU.
Ice-T?
Yes.
No.
Fuck the Police is by NWA.
I didn't say fuck the I said he made songs saying fuck the police. I didn't say he made the song fuck the police.
Okay, that makes more sense. I was also
save.
confused.
He wrote songs talking about how shit the police are, and then he played a police officer for 15 years.
And then now we have Kanye West in jail.
Yeah. So I will say one thing that I was very thankful for and surprised it didn't turn into is that when you hear basically anyone that hears a movie written by Seth Rogen, you're immediately assuming it's going to be some type of stoner comedy. And I feel like with this movie, it's very well done. Did he write it or did he just like produce and direct it?
He directed
he
and
wrote
wrote
it.
it.
He did not direct it.
Does Seth Rogen make bad movies?
I wouldn't.
Does he? Well, has the movies that he's written, are they ever bad?
What movie has he written?
That's what we're gonna look at right now.
Pineapple Express.
Oh god damn it! I hate the.
Okay, he can't just live off the laurels of Pineapple Express, Kevin.
I mean, that's his first big one.
He did some
Sausage Party was pretty funny.
Dude, Sausage Party was ass.
Oh, Sausage Party.
That was fun. I thought that was a fun one.
God, that is an experience.
Oh, he wrote for Preacher? That's pretty cool.
Mm-hmm.
He wrote some stuff for The Boys Diabolical, Neighbors 2.
Mm-hmm.
That
The
one
inner-
wasn't very good.
That one wasn't. He did The League, the TV. He did 2 episodes of The League. This
watch
is the end. The Watch. Oh
The
man,
Watch was fun.
The internet.
you
interview.
mean the movie that basically only came out on certain theaters in the entire Southwest
Hey, the watch was still fun.
because they tried to extort one of the more popular movie chains in the area for more money, and they said "fuck you." Green Hornet, Pineapple Express, super bad. So I'm not gonna say that Seth Rogen is a bad filmmaker, but I would say most of his films hit a very specific demographic.
Yeah.
And it's not common you see anyone outside of that demographic enjoy some of his movies. This is a movie that is well written.
But but this movie also is not out of the character for him.
No, not at all.
Yeah, so like this is well within Seth Rogen's wheelhouse, and I think of him as a competent like writer.
Yeah.
I think he's funny. He like writes good jokes. He like acts well. He's like a great comedy actor.
As a voice actor, I only see him as Seth Rogen.
Yeah, exactly.
I don't know if that's a good thing because I
Does
didn't
he
really,
only
I
does-
didn't care for him in Donkey Kong as Donkey Kong.
Yeah.
I did not care. Anyone could have played that role. I all I saw was Seth Rogen in that.
Well, that was like, them trying to get as much money as possible by hiring the most well-known names
Just hitting.
into to cast their
Even though they
their
had
characters.
Mario, they had the man who played voice acted
Charles
Mario.
Martinet.
Yeah.
I don't
Yeah.
think I would be comfortable with Charles Martinet doing his Italian character for the entire thing.
No.
I would be fine with like Vinny Vinesauce doing a Brooklyn accent, doing his Mario Super Show Mario.
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
I'm fine with that for the entirety,
Yeah.
but not Charles Martinet doing like the
Yahoo!
Wahoo!
But so yeah, the movie
Mamma mia.
the movie is very well animated. I feel like the
Voice acting solid.
voice acting's great.
And
The-
it's crafted with with
Love.
like a reverence for the source material.
yes. There
Because it's like it's chock full of like childhood references for Seth Rogen's demographic, his generation,
Mm-hmm.
and it also like is still in touch with today's youth,
Yes.
with how like teenagers act today and like the things that they know. It doesn't patronize children. It doesn't like make up like stereotypical like language, and it's not how do you do fellow kids type shit. It's like competently and like well researched and shit.
This is
It's
a
a-
movie that made me feel old though, because I was like, oh, I actually understand the references.
how does that make you feel old?
Because usually when I was a teenager and a kid, I didn't understand any of the references made in like kids shows. Because they were all
Alright.
from the 80s and
Yeah.
stuff like that.
Okay.
And now it's the other way around where I was like, oh, I get it.
But yeah, this is definitely a movie that parents and the children will both enjoy.
Yeah, it's
equally.
a movie for like the old school like 80s like Turtles fans also,
Yeah.
because
Yeah.
they still had Marky Mark's song in there. So
Yeah.
Yeah.
oh, go Ninja.
The music is great.
Mhm.
Fucking banger soundtrack.
Superfly just showing up. Freaking-
Fucking swagger like a motherfucker.
Hell yeah.
And like,
that was so good.
you know, I didn't know what to expect with like the villain introduction, but then when he walks out,
I did not see that coming.
when he walks out, I'm just like, there is no other way you could have introduced this guy.
And also he
So
has
good.
such a sympathetic origin story.
yeah,
That's something I wanted to cover. There's a very common thing that like when you're writing, because Splinter, if written by someone else, people could interpret it as like, oh, he's just being mean or he's being like whatever to the turtles or whatever. But
He's been an overprotective dad.
But everyone's motivations and stuff were logical and made sense.
The
And-
only thing that was kind of like can take you out a little bit of it is Superfly's motivation makes sense. You know,
Yeah.
he's angry. His father got killed. Baxter Stockman was his like world. He saved his siblings,
siblings. Yep.
and then he's like, okay, big jump, big logical jump, kill all humans.
Well, hold on.
He was
So he tried, because he did what Splinter did,
Yeah.
and he tried to reintroduce himself and his siblings to humanity, and they did the exact same thing. And he even said in the story, there was a guy that chased us into an alley with a baseball bat and was gonna kill us, but I mollywopped him. I beat him within an inch of his life. And you know what? That's what we need to do to all the humans.
Yeah.
So it goes down that kind of trope in a lot of movies, and it's kind of a trope I like, of showing
The antagonist and the protagonist have an origin story, but the way they react to a focal point in their journey, like, split them off into two separate paths to reach the same goal.
I'm sorry, I love that. it's
Even though Splinter is not the protagonist, really.
No.
Like did you see Puss in Boots?
Yes.
The newest one?
The Last Wish, yes.
Yeah.
I think they had a solid antagonist, even though they had it wasn't like the same origin story, but I think it was done really well.
Would you consider Death as the antagonist, or like John Horn?
I consider John the reoccurring antagonist, whereas like the overarching villain was Death.
John Horn,
was a great villain.
He is the best antagonist because of how cartoonishly evil he is.
And he just went with it, and I was like, yeah, he doesn't need a super like.
Even Jiminy Cricket said, "I give up on you. You need to burn."
That was so good. Anyways,
but
both like ways can go.
Everyone's motivations in the movie is
Right.
sympathetic, and except for the like development lead from the evil company.
Though there's still a mystery.
Oh, Maya Rudolph's character?
Yeah,
They just want to make
it's
money.
our property.
They wanted to. That's every
evil company.
Evil corporation. in the movie.
whatever the evil company is. I don't remember what.
I don't remember what it's called either.
Ooze Corp, Umbrella or Corporation.
Something.
Like, they've always had kind of that same motivation. We need to capture the turtles to recreate Baxter Stockman's formula. So we need to milk them, which is one of my favorite.
Hold on. We'll get to that in spoilers. I think we should get to that in spoilers.
Yeah, we'll talk.
I think all three of us should say that at the same time.
Yes. So, I'm trying to think of anything else to cover in the non-spoiler section, because
I like the ending. I thought it was a nice ending.
Oh yeah, I like the ending.
The ending was good.
it's like the best type of ending you can
You'd
expect
ask
to
for
have
it.
from this movie.
Yeah.
And
It works.
it's an ending that leaves itself open if they decide to pursue
Yeah.
it further. But even if they don't, I think this movie can confidently stand on its own.
Yeah.
So also it does something different that a lot of like superhero slash, I don't know, like mutant fish out of water type stories have, that I can go into later on in the spoilers. But it does something like different. It disrupts kind of like the status quo of that world.
Yeah.
In a sense, and it's like that's always like something that I welcome, because it's always something different that
Interesting.
a lot of like movies do.
And you even get Kevin's favorite trope. New Yorkers coming together.
Uh,
Oh, that was good.
yeah, I know. I fucking teared up at the end of like the Mario Brothers movie. I did the first time I saw the ending of Ninja Turtles, because like I saw the ending to it like before I watched the movie with you guys.
Oh.
So
You enjoy New Yorkers coming together.
It's more
like
than
it's
that.
like a tear jerk.
it's more than that. It's
Is this something we need to cover in spoiler territory?
no. Because like I cried at Avatar 1 when it was just like him doing a speech saying like go as fast as the wind can take you and and like gather up as many troops as you can, and it was like bombastic. Side eye.
You also got a tear when you saw Pacific Rim and he controls the Jaeger on his own.
Yeah, no. I don't privy to sad emotional shit. I fall privy to like triumph
Yeah.
and familial bonds.
Oh, you also teared up at the end of Quiet Place 2.
Yeah, that was exactly it. It's
Yeah.
familial bonds, it's triumph.
Mm-hmm.
All right. We ready for spoilers?
I think so. I don't know if there's anything else I can think of in the non-spoiler section, at least. Well, no, because we kind of covered it. Just the animation style feels claymation-y a little bit.
I see where you're coming from. I don't 100% agree, but I do see where you're coming from.
Which is not a bad thing. It's not a bad thing.
The character design is very claymation-like.
Yeah.
That I agree with.
Yeah, which I think that was interesting. That was
Yes.
a new art style I haven't really seen.
Did we want to say anything about it's not a controversy. I don't
The
wanna,
April O'Neil thing.
I don't want to give as much
The
credit that it's a controversy. It's
So-
I have seen several versions of April O'Neil.
Mhm.
I'm not married to any specific
I am
design.
not
No.
either.
Honestly, this version felt right.
It's fine.
It worked really
If
well.
you're cultured, there's only one April O'Neil for you.
Mhm.
It felt
The porn star.
yes. It felt this version of April O'Neil fit perfectly within the world they created.
Mhm.
It fit perfectly within the dynamic of the turtles and their comedy, their their rhythm when it came to discussing things and talking about each other.
Mm-hmm.
So, you know what? Whatever controversy was around that, fuck off. Just watch the movie.
I'm just saying that if they want to change someone's race, just make a new character.
See,
Yeah, that's
that's
But it doesn't matter. Anyways, other than that, I think we can move on to spoilers.
Are the
Alright.
turtles black?
so that's actually a funny conversation I had with my wife after the movie.
What?
So this was my wife's first exposure to Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles.
Oh.
Oh, she lives under a rock.
Yeah.
She lives in a sewer.
Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles never came up on her radar for any reason.
She didn't watch cartoons on a Saturday.
She did not.
Yeah.
So this was kind of her first exposure, and it was really funny because she came and she's like, yeah, the turtles were always supposed to be a representation of the black community, right? I'm like, dude, no.
No.
That's not what they were. And she's like, are you sure? I'm like,
They were just New Yorkers.
okay, the comics, it was actually a serious, gritty comic.
Mhm.
In the original, cartoon, it was just stupid Saturday morning cartoons.
They were just teenagers.
Yeah.
Well, I think the
'Cause I always
2003 Fox version,
Mhm.
I think was still more serious, especially
Yes.
since they started going into multiple dimensions in the future. And then once Nickelodeon picked it up with the 2008 TMNT movie, and then all of the several reboots and shows they've done afterwards, I stopped following Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles once Nickelodeon took
Yeah.
over.
Yeah. I mean,
They turned into just a teenage. They turned into teenagers.
Yeah.
now.
It's not. They're not supposed to represent a specific group.
They represent teenagers.
Exactly.
I always just saw them as native New Yorkers.
Yeah, they make
that's
chicken
the-
wings.
Yeah.
Exactly. That's what I basically saw them as.
Yeah. And
Kids that grew up in New York.
And the spirit of vengeance.
Yeah.
yes, but
Hide in the
no,
shadows.
it was just funny you brought that up because my wife said that on our drive home.
They're Puerto Ricans,
Yeah, but if you want to know,
except for Splinter, who's always in canon a weeb. He's not Japanese,
He's
but he's always
Also
mimicking the
no
accent because he loves the art.
yeah.
yes.
That's awesome.
All right, spoilers. 3, 2, 1.
Splinter is definitely Puerto Rican.
Milking.
Yeah.
So-
Mega Milker 2000.
Yeah.
It doesn't say Mega Milker. It's just whatever.
No,
No, it
does
is.
say-
It says Mega Milker 2000, dude.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. So
Sugoi Dekai.
there's this
Three-way line.
throwaway line that Splinter constantly repeats. They're gonna experiment on you and milk you, and
We don't even have nipples.
the whole time the turtles are like, "What are you even talking about? We don't have nipples. What would they milk? What are you talking about?" And then they get captured, and it's like, we need the contagion in your blood. So we must, and they're like, "Oh God,
No, don't say
hook
it.
you up to no, this can't be happening. Milk you, no."
And then it scrolls down to the machine's name.
The
It's
Mega Milker
2000.
and it's like, what the fuck?
That
This
was
is-
such a pog
This
moment.
is the most awkward and longest lead up to a payoff, and it works so well because I think the four of us laughed the loudest out of everyone in the theater.
I wasn't prepared for the mega milker
was
to
not
that.
it was so
Like it could have
good.
been just like freaking
Well, this was the plot of.
extractor machine something, but no, it
I
had.
think this was the plot of like the second Michael Bay movie, right?
I have no
They
idea.
also got mega milked.
Yes. They
Could have been,
they
but
had-
I don't think it was called like
Either
a
that or
milker.
the first movie. I know that there was a scene where they were in a test tube and like they were getting
Yeah.
milked.
But no, there's
It was
just,
always like an extractor or something like that. It wasn't
Yeah,
like
you got to get that ooze out of
Yeah.
there.
there's just like certain jokes that like, especially with the characters that are same, it just works. Like the fucking what's his name?
There's also kind of like a bit of a meme after the movie came out where it's like I did not expect to be mentally scarred with Splinter tonguing a mutant.
or April throwing up on screen.
That's not too bad.
No,
No,
very
I was,
funny.
but I
like-
thought it was gonna be like off screen, like it normally does. You know,
But yeah, it's just like
Just straight up, and
center
then-
frame.
yeah.
No,
Just,
yeah,
like, vomit
there's
on
this
national
like
television.
cockroach mutant that they're like, oh, she speaks. Oh, what language
she
does she
speaks
speak?
mutant or something.
No,
she
no,
doesn't
no.
Speak, she doesn't. She speaks
Vermin.
like
She speaks vermin.
Yeah.
And she's like, and then like Splinter constantly talks about like,
Do you know
No.
how hard it is to
God,
did it yet?
to date mutants in my age group? I know, I've tried. And then like he interacts with her briefly, and he's like, she's
hit it.
very attractive. And then like at one point he speaks vermin to her, and she's like, she's very nice and very attractive. And then at one point he's like, you know, I have a place we could go back to, and she's just like, just full tonguing. And it's like, oh my god, it's so good. More and fucking just Mondo Gecko just being a chill dude.
Yeah.
Just what's up, bruh?
Yeah.
And then him and Michelangelo hitting off.
just freaking skateboarding together.
Wingnut, the bat with all the electrical,
tech.
just being a weeb and tech guy that just gets along
Talking
with
about
Donnie.
Akira.
Yeah. Like, or when she's like, so at the sewer how's the internet
Yeah.
situation? Are we good for streaming? And like Splinter's like, no. And she's like, okay, no streaming. I'll hotspot it or something. I don't know. But it's just Ray Fillet just constantly wanting to sing.
Yeah.
He does so because he's always singing. It's hard to tell that that's Post Malone.
Yes.
But yeah, you know, Mr. Beast is also in this movie. It's pretty like awesome cast.
Yeah. Hold on. And then Ice Cube as Superfly.
Oh
Okay,
my god.
I
That-
don't know why I did not connect that it was Ice Cube when I initially saw it. And then
You
afterward,
thought it was just a guy doing an impression of Ice Cube?
No, I just thought it was a guy doing his voice.
Like doing an impression of like a gangster.
I didn't think he was doing an impression of everyone. But then like when
All I
think
think about is like just 21 Jump Street series. Like you
Yeah.
guys are making a mockery in front of Korean Jesus.
But yeah, no, it just I love every character.
Like when he
and
walks out with that, with the music and bumping in the background from his vehicle, I'm like,
He
oh
is
my
pretty
god,
Superfly.
yeah.
he's like, "Hey, come out with the tech, come on!" And then when he sees their mutants, everyone's screaming. He's like, "Hey,
Hey!
mutants! Oh, let's go party!"
Yeah.
Uh,
And it's also like endearing when they are hanging out at the bowling alley.
Yeah.
Because they're like, this is the first time they can connect with people that are
Yeah.
similar to them.
and it's in that connection that like everyone is super sympathetic
Because the turtles don't want to hurt him.
no,
Yeah.
and honestly, like
They don't even want to hurt the turtles, other than Superfly.
because what I loved is during the entire chase after that, when they have the tech and they're trying to get away, the other people are like,
It'll
"Hey,
be easier if you
please
just-
stop,
yeah.
just stop." Superfly is gonna get pissed, and they're like, "He's already mad," and they're like, "This is him being nice."
Yeah.
But no, and I do want to cover this because we're on the topic. This is why I love the ending to this movie so much.
Mm-hmm.
Is that like near the climax, like Superfly's quote unquote family kind of confronts him and like, listen, we don't want to kill humans.
We never wanted to.
We never wanted to. We kind of just did it because like you
don't-
led us and we were just in the groove of
Yeah,
it.
you're kind of like our like older brother figure. We're gonna follow you wherever.
But like now that we like have this option,
We don't want.
why do we have to do it?
Mm-hmm.
Like this is proof that some people can be nice. Let's at least try.
Yeah.
And
April becoming that bridge. Also, it was like it allowed Splinter to come back out of the sewers.
yeah, and it allows like him and his foil to have that like moral conundrum again.
Yeah, because Superfly also was like, you could have been me.
Yeah. And even at one point when like everyone's fighting to keep him from turning on the
He talks
device,
to Splinter.
he's like, Splinter, you and I agree. We're on the same side. Help me out, dude. And Splinter's like, no, I'm not like you.
Yeah.
And then at the end when they like
Did a flying red hot kick.
yeah, and then at the end when they beat Superfly and when they resolve the issue, like it's not like some other superhero movies where like the minions are just kind of thrown off into the like sunset, like figure your shit out. The turtles are like, hey, just come live with us.
Yeah.
We've got somewhere that's big enough for us all to live. Let's figure it out. And like you have a really nice scene where they're all like just
Being a family.
being a family, figuring it out.
Yeah,
They're
and
all
also
happy.
and also all of New York helped them take down Superfly
Yeah.
because he turned into a Titan.
Yeah.
And because Donnie's a fan of Attack on Titan,
They've-
he's like, we need to go to the nape of the neck and put this antigen into his bloodstream.
Yeah.
I fucking love all the anime. Oh my god! And when they go into the high school and Donatello sees the locker with the Attack on Titan like drawing on it, he's like, this guy also watches Attack on Titan. I understand who he is spiritually.
Oh man.
And then, yeah, and you just see the turtles kind of come into their own, and once they're like accepted into high school,
Yeah.
you see even in their like normal everyday clothes,
Which they got normal everyday clothes, which was
Yeah.
cool to watch. I was
And
like, oh shit.
They're not just naked in high school.
Yeah.
and they each have their own style too.
Yeah.
Like,
And they're
Well, they
getting their
always
own
did.
group. They're all getting their own group of friends and stuff
and
like
it,
that.
and every single one fits in their personality. Leo's in the fucking slacks with a tucked in polo,
Yeah.
doing fucking student council and shit. Donnie is with all the nerds
nerds
just on their
on the
computer.
computers.
He's like, I found my
My
people.
people."
Hi guys, and they all just
Hi.
they just wave and then go back to their computers. I'm at home. Mikey's doing the fucking improv, and Raph is
Doing wrestling or something.
Raph, Bebop, and Rocksteady bond over their mutual anger issues and aggression issue. And Raph goes into wrestling because he's like, I have an outlet for my anger. No,
But like, yeah, so it's a change of the status quo because like, if this was a TV show, the turtles would be underground for an entire season,
Yeah.
and humans would not know that they exist. So, and like, by making them public, they're now able to be out in the outside world, and like they got everything that they wanted. That puts the potential sequel into a different position.
Yeah.
Whereas, like, if they were still just like in the shadows,
Because it's hinted that
Shredder.
Shredder showed up.
yeah.
I mean, like, he's there in the post credits.
Yeah.
So it's just staring out at New York, which is like interesting. Shredder not being the first movie's villain.
Which I respect.
Which I think works better for this type of movie because it leads them for losing so much more.
Later.
If they were to do a second one.
Because Shredder, in like every iteration, is a terrifying villain.
Yeah.
And I, like you said, I like it more where he shows up when they actually have more to lose.
Right.
And, you know, it's, and you know what? Something else I like is that kind of going back to what you said, Kevin, about if this was a TV show, every one of the people they became friends with would have been a villain of the week.
Yeah.
Would have been some random escapade they deal with them, eventually be friends, blah, blah, blah. But, like, they kind of go through that more efficiently. I do love the Shredder tease.
Yeah.
That was great. And and again, this goes back to my wife having no exposure. She's like, who's Shredder? I'm like, he's the big bad.
I thought the security guy was going to end up being Shredder for a little bit.
Oh,
Yeah.
Nah.
Because he got a scar and everything like
Yeah.
that. So I was like, oh, is he going to end up being Shredder?
yeah, I could see that.
They
But
didn't go that, which is fine. There's nothing wrong with that.
I'm fine with it.
I'm fine with Shredder being even bigger, more of a dangerous thing because he gets a scar from Scar.
Yeah. And then April has her own character arc of finally being able to get over her stage fright after puking only a little bit this time.
Only a little bit.
Instead of at the high school where it was played forward in reverse, remixed, and then...
Oh, that was so good. The fight scenes were really good and fun. They had personalities with their fighting.
They were well choreographed.
Yeah.
And they were well animated. So
like they got in their first fight and it was a crapshoot. It was a messy crapshoot.
But you saw their training kick in and stuff. It was a great like progression for every character. And like you even saw Splinter get to be badass a little bit.
Yeah.
And it was just good. And again, I always appreciate fight choreography in animated movies, especially because like there is a budget to like drafting an action scene in an animated movie, and you can always tell when it's badly choreographed or badly shot if you're getting confused on where anyone is in a scene.
It's the camera's incredibly close in their like 5,000 cuts. I think it takes inspiration also from Jackie Chan's choreography.
Yeah,
especially how Donatello uses like his giant pole arm, and how all the other turtles use props. The environment is part of like the choreography, especially in that garage fight.
I think there was an Old Boy reference in the garage fight too.
I have no idea.
Because wasn't there? No, it wasn't in the garage fight. It was when they were hunting down the people that were associated with Superfly.
And so they would change each different turtle in the same position doing the same thing, and they do have an Old Boy hallway.
Yeah.
Which I thought was cool. It kind of like breezed through them doing their own thing, and they're also becoming more confident in their combat skills, because right now they were just like mimicking in front of video games and movies.
Yeah.
Which is the dream for kids. So finally, because of their natural talent and strength, that they could also like
actually use them. Yeah,
actually put it to use.
Because as like the movie went on, they started getting better and better and better and more confident at their abilities, and so you got to see them take on more guys and stuff like that.
Yeah, there was never a point where there was never like a Deus Ex Machina point. There was never any leaps in logic or anything that happened. Everything progressed very naturally, and I love that.
I did like how Superfly got his dad's haircut.
Yes.
That was pretty good.
The Jerry curl. It becomes a style. Some people keep it, but no, it just an overall very good film, and a film
feels
that
good.
Mm-hmm.
And a film that I didn't have like rock bottom expectations for it, but I didn't have high expectations either. And like coming out of it, I'm very happy this film got made. It's a very good route for the Turtles to go down.
Mm-hmm. I still think the payoff for the Mega Milker 2000
so good.
It's probably the height of the film.
Just such a weird like thing to keep putting in, and it's like, okay, what is this bit they're doing?
Yeah.
And then it just like, oh fuck.
Yeah, it was just so good. The other one is like I would agree with Kevin, probably like the New York coming together to take on this Titan with like the very or when like Superfly is like this giant Titan, he's like, he'll run out of cars eventually, and he's right next to a parking
garage.
Oh man.
Or when they shoot him with the anti-mutagen gun, and it hits a horse, and a single horse runs away, and he's like, I didn't need that horse anyway.
Also, we kind of didn't mention it, but April, like, we kind of mentioned it, but April actually, like, letting New York know that the Turtles are on their side.
Yeah, that's, like, the end of her arc, where she finally gets over her nervousness.
But, like, that was, like, kind of the catalyst to kind of let New York help them.
Yeah. But, I mean, any last thoughts on Turtles? I honestly...
Favorite turtle, go.
Donatello.
Kevin.
In 2003 it was Donnie. I don't know. I like Leo in this movie.
Okay. Mike?
I always like Donatello too.
Yeah.
I think it was Leo first and then Donatello for me.
That's fair.
When he got more techie, is the more when I liked him.
I have Donatello has always been my favorite since the very beginning. Yeah, he's always been my favorite.
Yeah.
But I highly recommend seeing this movie, and I think
Bring your kids. Bring
Yeah.
your parents.
your kids
Everyone
Has
will
a good
love it.
message overall too.
Yeah, and unironically, your kids will like this movie. And there's, again, the references are not cringe. It's not "Hello, fellow teens." It actually feels relevant.
I want my like little like. You guys remember those little ninjas that you could get at like for tickets and
The
stuff?
ones with like the parachutes that you would throw.
Not the parachute ones, just the ones with like the ninja star or the sword,
Yeah.
and they're like made of rubber.
Yeah.
That rubber material. That kind of just like brings me back to that. I want those to come back.
Okay.
Those little like 50-cent capsule toys.
Yeah. You know.
I think those still exist.
Do they? Okay. Good.
Yeah.
Good.
I don't know. I haven't used like a capsule machine in a while.
Well, no, you'd get them like at like ticket places,
They're at like
arcades
arcades that do
and
tickets.
stuff.
Oh, like a Dave and Buster's.
Like
or
Dave
Chuck
and
E. Cheese?
Buster's.
They're like 10 tickets that any kid can afford.
Like 5 or 10 tickets, and you get a little ninja.
Oh, I thought it was like a box of crayons or something.
Nah. What about you, Kevin? You recommend it?
Yeah, I said so. It's I mean, like, it's understandable for kids. Teenagers will find it relatable. The jokes are funny for
They got
adults.
Riz.
God.
God.
Especially if you're like a large sibling group of brothers.
Yeah.
I think it really relates to a lot of like brothers that like.
Yeah, or just cousins you're like really close to.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, like it's that kind of movie for sure.
Yeah.
Like
Yeah.
this was just like me watching myself and my brother and my cousins just
I
hanging
came
out
I
at our
came out
house.
of the movie with smiling ear to ear.
Yeah.
So,
Mm-hmm.
all right. Well, thanks for tuning in. Appreciate you listening. You can find us at Buns Cinema on X. It's no longer Twitter. It's X. And then you can, if you want to help support the podcast, you can find us at patreon.com/cinemabuns. I'm Donnie.
Wait, does that mean Twitter is an available like name we can take again?
Yeah.
No, I think twitter.com will still lead you to the same website.
No, what I'm saying is we can take like the Twitter brand name now.
No, they can still own it.
Yeah, they still own that
Do you think
brand.
they'll give it up
No.
anytime soon?
There's no way.
Because I always like the word Twitter. I just don't like Twitter.
So technically, they're never going to get rid of that brand.
Okay.
Twitter is something they own, and just like Kevin said, if you type in twitter.com, you get auto directed to X.
So Ritter, you need to make one called Ritter then, and then it will be an off-brand Twitter.
Just why?
Oh yeah, that's something that that protects our freedom of speech. It'll be our own social platform.
Yeah.
Where we can speak the truth
Yeah.
in a social setting.
unhindered by left-wing agenda.
Sigma males unite.
Yes, there will be constant gifs and compilations of Cillian Murphy. And, oh God, what's another big... Oh, and of Joaquin Phoenix.
Oh yeah.
But yeah, catch us next week. I'm Ritter.
I'm Mike.
I am out of the shadows.
Bye.
1, 2, 3, 4, 4, 3, 2, 1. Watch with us. We're Cinema Buns.